It's fabulous to be in Seattle, and it is such an honor for me to stand before you today to bestow IDA's most prestigious individual honor. We all stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us. And this is an incredible opportunity to recognize people who have been doing this work, but in extraordinary ways. This award is called the Dan Sweat Lifetime Achievement Award. Who was Dan Sweat, you might ask? Let me tell you. Dan Sweat passed away at only 63 years old in 1997. He was a pivotal figure in shaping Atlanta's urban landscape. Once heralded as the premier civic administrator by the New York Times, Dan was one of Atlanta's most respected public servants. The key to his success, which was his unparalleled ability to forge partnerships across diverse sectors, which drove many of his accomplishments. You know, partnerships today is something that we know we are completely dependent upon. But then, everybody, we'll talk about silos, right? There, everybody did their own thing. It was Dan who connected people in a way that hadn't been done before. So he was the founding executive director of the Atlanta Regional Commission and later the CEO of the Central Atlanta Progress. He led transformational projects, including revitalizing downtown Atlanta and saving the Chattahoochee River. His leadership was instrumental in fostering unity among Atlanta's communities and advancing regional planning. He was actually our chair here at IDA from 78 to 79, and during his tenure, he had the visionary influence on urban development and demonstrated a strong commitment to public service. And his legacy truly continues to inspire urban planning and civic leaders to this day. So this year, we are so privileged to present this esteemed Lifetime Achievement Award to two exceptional individuals. They have profoundly shaped urban management and advocacy in very different ways. The first award goes to our dear friend, Bob Eury. Throughout his distinguished career in Houston, Bob has demonstrated unparalleled leadership in urban development and management. Bob has shown exceptional leadership through his esteemed career in Houston. His innovative funding models, particularly Tax Increment Financing, or TIFs, which we all now, have revolutionized financing and the execution of urban projects, and he played a significant role in reshaping Houston's urban landscape. His strategic guidance was crucial in addressing the city's commuting challenges, notably improving transit solution for center city employees and enhancing sustainability. His efforts in advancing redevelopments of the Buffalo Bayou and its surrounding parks significantly transformed this essential urban river, connecting it to the Port of Houston and enriching the city's green spaces. Bob was instrumental in the creation of Way Home Houston program, a pioneering initiative in addressing homelessness. And this program, which has become a national model, reflects Bob's unwavering commitment to finding lasting solutions for complex social issues. Bob's impact didn't stop there. It extends to the arts, conventions, infrastructure, development of 3 major sports stadiums, all of which have been central to Houston's revitalization. His legacy as a mentor, as a leader, as an innovator, is not just part of our history, but an ongoing inspiration that sets a high standard for excellence in urban management. And he just told me he's really not retired, which is extraordinary. Please help me in honoring Bob Eury for the Dan Sweat Lifetime Achievement Award. Take a picture.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. I am absolutely, totally humbled, blown away by this recognition. I had the great pleasure of knowing Dan Sweat. He was just an incredibly wonderful human being. And among his he made all kinds of contributions to Georgia and Atlanta and Atlanta region. But along the way, he actually advised the downtown corporate leaders in Houston, Texas, for the formation of Central Houston. So my link goes right back to the beginning. But actually not right, because my career as a city builder actually really started when I was a child in building cities in the backyard with construction toys, and my poor parents had to put up with it. That ultimately led me to urban research and then to be the CEO of Central Houston. You know, our founders at that time didn't have much time to change the course for downtown because it was really moving in the direction of being a 9-to-5 office park. And I think over the years have been able to kind of move it piece by piece. We've spent literally, took 40 years. We spent billions of dollars and have done literally hundreds of projects over that period of time. And I believe we're well on our way on going there for the future, and I think we're in good position. Although we all know right now there's an awful lot of things happening in the world that are very large challenges ahead, and I think for Houston, very much so. My neighbor is a marketing guru, and I was doing a podcast with him, and he commented that you always say we, you never say me. And now he calls it the power of we. And that's what it takes to move a city forward. I think most of you all know it. We've seen it today here. It takes constantly building consensus, a common sense of urgency, and engagement of all stakeholders to make things happen quickly. You got to keep an eye on the prize, and you want to minimize us versus them. We did learn that time and leadership are very precious. You have to use them extremely wisely, but you still want to make the big moves. Following sort of Daniel Burnham's very well-known phrase, make no little plans, that they have no magic and to stir men's blood. Well, I fully agree with what Burnham said. Let me also say, I think we've learned that small things do matter. As I look around the room and things we've seen here, you can see that. A small thing would be like having a homeless person sleeping in your door every night. And we quickly, and this goes back decades, we found that it was sort of a small thing. But to solve that, it took decades of work, of trial and error, frankly, before we developed the homeless housing system, the Way Home, which Kathleen mentioned. It wouldn't have been possible without everybody working together, public, private, nonprofit organizations, you name it. The power of we also helps with the creation of new organizations. And I've sort of added it up over the years, and good grief, it's like over 24 organizations that we created for one thing or another, because frankly, even though you want to be on point and you want to move the thing, it takes a lot of people and a lot of areas of activity to do it. And so, yes, we did create the management district and the redevelopment authority connected to Central Houston, and the three together now work as Downtown Plus. And I think it's going well and it's moving forward. The other piece of this, though, and I've been doing a little consulting with my friends in the energy corridor on the west side of town. Oh, for Bob, that was getting out of the central city was something else, okay? But we are part of a region that's now over 7 million people, and it has a footprint about the size of the New York area. And so we can only work together at various pieces of the puzzle in Houston, and I think we've kind of built a platform we can do it. I want to thank my dear wife, Gail, of 55 years, for... I love you, dear. She's put up with my career, and she constantly asks me, and this is truthful too, which we are you talking about, Bahama? Is it we, or is it the whole city? And sometimes I think it gets real confused. Let me also recognize some of my Houston colleagues are here today, in addition to Chris, of course. I especially appreciate the attendance here today of Leslie Ashby, who is the chair of the Downtown District, and Edna Ramos, one of her fellow board members. And I'm so thrilled that they're here with us today, as long as with the staffs of downtown and our friend, my little group right now out in the Energy Corridor. I thank you so much. I want to thank all of you in the room here for being such an inspiration for so many years, because it's the community, the we of IDA, that I think has made, me, I think, do better than I ever could think. And more importantly, I think that really goes to everybody in the room. So we still got a lot of work ahead, and really appreciate the passion in you and Godspeed in your work. And thank you for this grant.